Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Candid Convos. Today's guest is Wendi Lawson C. Wendi, thank you for joining us. You know why I'm excited to have you here, but I'd like for our guests to get to know you a little bit better. Would you mind introducing yourself? Let people know who you are and what you do.
Sure. So I'm Wendi C. I'm an attorney in South Carolina, and I practice. I do real estate. I do special needs estate planning, guardianships and conservatorships, and then I also do special education. So those are my practice areas. I don't really to stray too far out of those practice areas. There are a lot of people who practice door law, which means if you struggle through the door and you manage to get over the threshold and you have cash in your pocket, they'll take your case. I can't do that. I have very specific passions, and I like to stay in my lane and keep with my passions and the things that I know best. I refer out more cases than I actually take.
Oh.
And I'm an attorney that I went to law school a little later in life. So I had an initial career, and now I am an attorney.
Uh-huh. That's actually like I was trying to figure out why you prefer steering on your lane, but now you just said like because it's my passion. I was wondering why did you want to become a lawyer, or how did you become a lawyer?
Sure. So I was a paralegal for years and years and years, and I then started a title company which does abstracting for other attorneys. We go to the courthouses and we research real estate titles for mortgage closings, real estate closings, foreclosures, those types of things where you need to know who has good title.
Mhm.
And you need to know what easements and restrictions are on the property, and also you need to know what debts are owed on the property and that sort of thing. And so I started that company, and it did that for the company's been open now for almost 20 years, and I have quite a few employees. I don't go to the courthouse anymore and actually do the research, but I have people for that. But I just, for the longest time, that's what I was just a paralegal, and it was the attorney who then made all the decisions, gave the advice to the clients, that sort of thing. And I got tired of just being the paralegal.
The thing here is you were able to run your business or had some sort of like a heads up on how it works, but that didn't prepare you on how to act as the leading attorney. When
No.
you became the leading attorney, what would you say were your first important steps towards growing your business?
Try not to throw up after the first consultation when somebody asks you for advice and they assume you know what you're talking about. It's very nerve-wracking. You have those first few clients. So manage to live through that. The other steps are, obviously you need insurance. You need to set up your law firm correctly. The other thing is you need to hire fairly quickly. As soon as you have any revenue, you need to start hiring people, because you can only clean bathrooms and do some of this other work like mailing things, and you can only do that so long. Now, I'm no better than anybody else. I clean the bathroom if it needs to be done. That's my employees know. There's nothing I ever asked them to do that I would not do myself. But if I need to be making lawyer money and charging lawyer money, then I need to be doing law stuff and not the secretary stuff or the receptionist things or the couriers things or paralegals things, because those things then take time that I'm not then making lawyer money. So at some point, very quickly within the first couple of months of being in a law firm, you're going to reach that spot where you need to start focusing on lawyer tasks and not the other tasks, and you need to hire very quickly in order to have that person who's doing, I always say it's like Devil Wears Prada, the movie. I need that person who walks behind me all day, just walks behind me and I don't know if people know the Olympic event curling, where they slide okay, and then the people, they're furiously, okay, I'm the ball, okay, and everybody is furiously scurrying in front of me, waving the so that I can slide through my day.
Yeah.
And the clients think I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it's because they're all furiously scurrying around me trying to make me look good.
Uh-huh.
And they do an amazing job at making me look good, because otherwise I couldn't get through a day. I'd be all over the place. So yeah, my staff, they're amazing.
I think it was right in the midst of the pandemic uh,
Yes,
that we were able to connect. You got a couple of no, you got a virtual assistant with us,
I
and
did.
you work with people in house, and you have this politics, or not politics. You have this way of handling your business, of how you grew your firm, the cause that you're all fighting for, because everybody
Mhm.
identifies with that. So, how did you manage to share that culture or help someone commit to the cause like you do with everyone that's in house, but with someone from offshore?
Well, one of the things was in the interviewing process that I went through. I did not accept the first two people that were sent to me for interview, and they were very smart. I never met anyone who works for Get Staffed Up that didn't know what they were doing. They recruit some of the most wonderful people from around the world to work for them. I was very impressed with their credentials, but they were not necessarily, maybe just nervousness, but they were not necessarily as casual and all as I was.
Mhm.
And I thought, well, I don't want somebody who's like, I wish she would get her act together, because I'm never going to get my act together. And so finally, the third person they sent to me, when I was interviewing her, it was just a fit. Yes, clicked immediately. And so she's been with me now a year and a half, and she is just amazing. And the key to what I have found with Get Staffed Up is they're hiring people who want to work, and they want to work hard. Okay. Uh, for instance, my staffer, if she doesn't understand something, instead of asking me first, she will always try to find the answer. She will ask someone, she will send an email, she'll Google, she'll try to find an answer before she comes to me and says, I need your help, which I don't mind helping, but she thinks ahead. So, for instance, I had something where I had a client, something happened overnight. I was late getting into the office. We always have a daily huddle, which we do by Zoom, so that everybody is involved. So, virtual plus people who are here. And we have a Zoom every day, and we go down through the task for day and what's come up overnight and those types of things. And I said, we need to do this. And she said, oh, you mean like this? And she pulled up her screen and it was already done. I mean, I didn't even say we needed to, it was done. Well, those are the type of people that you need working for you. If people wait for my instructions, sometimes it's just easier to do it myself. And I'll be the first one to do that. I am horrible at delegating. And so I have to, having people on my staff who just think ahead and anticipate what needs to be done and are willing to learn and absorb knowledge and understand what we need and what we're doing is just invaluable. She is truly, they might get stacked up, and I have an outside paralegal that's truly a paralegal who's doing law work, and she's virtual as well, and the two of them are just phenomenal. And for not being here in the office, but we do try to keep that culture, so that they feel part of Now, my Get Staffed Upper is in South Africa. My clients love it. She has this British accent
Oh yeah.
that everyone thinks is just incredibly sexy. Everybody's and then I have another, my paralegal, she's actually in West Virginia. And she came down recently, and I brought for a visit. And so she came down for a week and spent a week with me. And we're looking forward to eventually having our staffer from South Africa come to visit. We're gonna go to Disney World because that's what everybody does when they come to the U.S. Is they go to Disney World. But we're hoping to have her and her husband and her son come for a visit so that we can all hug in person.
Wow. 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 You know, I was wondering what's it like to work with you if I were your virtual assistant, but you pretty much already like you are inclusive up to the extreme. Like
Yeah.
you're not only coming yourself, you're also bringing your husband and your kid. So that's
Well, I'm not going to leave him home alone. He's got to come along, and her son, of course, would just love to go to Disney
yeah.
World. I mean, so of course, if they all need to come, so.
But then how did you manage to delegate? Because I'm pretty much sure that you're not wearing all the hats anymore. Now you're
No,
making the lawyer money
I
so that
can't.
everything else can keep afloat. But how did you manage to delegate and what did you delegate if that was something that you were not kind of used to?
I was not kind of used to. It was trial and error, and my staffer in South Africa and my paralegal in West Virginia specifically are rough with me. They say, we should be doing that.
Oh.
And then I'll say, okay. Okay, you're right. And so they'll tell me, you should be doing that.
Which brings me actually to the last point of today. Can you please let people know where they can find you and what you can do for them?
Okay, well, we're Southeastern Law. We're principally in Walterboro, South Carolina, which is considered the Low Country. So for those people who do not know where Walterboro is, we're about an hour outside of Charleston. And then we have an office in Summerville in South Carolina. And like I said at the beginning, we do real estate closings. We also do quiet title and heirs property, which is a very specialized niche of real estate. Then we do special needs estate planning. So those people who have special needs loved ones who might inherit something later, we do not want that to upset any public benefits that they might be receiving. So we need to plan correctly. Also, we need to plan for what happens if mom and dad or grandma and grandpa are not here to take care of the special needs child. And so we need to make some plans. And I do that. I do guardianships and conservatorships, which is kind of the failure to plan. So that's when we have to go to court because there was no plan and something has happened. And mom and dad may have passed away in an accident, and now we need to have someone appointed to take over and that sort of thing. So I do those guardianships and conservatorships. I also handle probate. So after someone has passed, we can help transition, then make that a smooth process. And then lastly, I do the special education. So if you have a child who's been diagnosed with something, even a physical disability or autism or dyslexia, something like that, and they're not receiving consistent, correct services at their school, then you hire me to explain to the school how that's not how it's going to work anymore. And so that's where I am. We have a website, southeasternlaw.com, or they can call our office and speak to and hear the wonderful British accent. And it's 843-782-3333. And that's where we are.
People reach out, you know where to find her, you know what she can do. Not only her, but also her entire team. Wendi,
Yes.
thank you for being our guest today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time.
Likewise. Bye-bye.